Study magnetic fields, magnetic potentials, series on electromagnetic field theory, lecture number 2.50. Sources are surrounded by fields, and fields are quite complex entities in nature. To describe them, a single parameter or quantity is not sufficient. Hence, several quantities like intensity, flux density, energy, etc. have come into being. Potential function is such a quantity, and it is able to provide vital and critical information pertaining to fields. When it comes to study magnetic fields given by DC or steady currents, there are two potentials defined. One is vector potential, magnetic vector potential. Another is scalar potential, magnetic scalar potential. Both are useful. Both are used. In the present session, our focus is on the definition and description of these two potentials. First, we consider magnetic vector potential. In the case of current distributions or magnetic fields, it is possible to define a quantity known as magnetic vector potential. It is denoted by A, capital A, bold face, indicating that it's a vector quantity. Its units are Webers per meter. It is purely mathematical quantity, no physical meaning. If you recollect electric scalar potential V, it has a meaning. It indicates amount of work done in bringing unit positive charge from infinity to the point under reference in the field. A physical meaning is there, but A, as far as A is concerned, magnetic vector potential is concerned, there is no such physical meaning. It is purely mathematical quantity. Its main use is in calculation of field intensity from source distribution when Biot-Savart law is in effect. Biot-Savart law is able to provide an expression for field intensity. Using that expression, one can apply to various current distributions and find field intensity. But it involves integration. Sometimes the distribution is such that it is not possible to perform integration. Therefore, Biot-Savart law, in such case, Biot-Savart law becomes ineffective. Then what they do is, first they calculate A from source distribution. Expression for A also involves integration, but inside the integral sign, the expression is slightly different. It is not as complex as the expression that is there within the integral sign of in the Biot-Savart law. So, first from source distribution, A is computed, magnetic vector potential is computed. From A, H is computed. Two-step process. Magnetic vector potential, a vector quantity, is always in the direction of current and hence perpendicular to B. It is directly proportional to current element and inversely proportional to distance. It is analogous to electric scalar potential, but there are two differences between them. One is electric potential is scalar and physical meaning is also there, whereas magnetic potential is vector. It is only a mathematical convenience with no physical meaning. A, particularly A, when it comes to A, its use when we go to the analysis of wire antennas, we can find A being highly useful there. Normally current distribution, somehow it is made available from current distribution. First A is computed, from A H is computed, from H E is computed, and everything that is required for us in the analysis of wire antennas, that is available in the expression for E. Once E is available, it means that we have everything what we wanted to have. In arriving at E from current distribution, source distribution, steps are current to A to H, H to E. It is not current to H directly. It is via A. So it is useful. It has applications, several applications. In fact, many more applications than V. Here I provide a definition, mathematical definition. There is no physical meaning, as already mentioned. A doesn't have any physical meaning. It is a mathematical convenience. For definition, to define, you consider a line current. Here is shown a line current. Ideal is current element. If R is vector joining current element, ideal prime, let us say this is ideal prime. As already mentioned, differential lengths, differential areas, differential volumes, coordinates pertaining to source, they are usually indicated with a prime, whereas differential lengths, differential areas, differential volumes, coordinates pertaining to field point, they are indicated without primes. To avoid confusion, this convention is followed, right? If R is vector joining current element ideal prime with, this is field point. This is current. Surrounding this current, there exists steady magnetic field. We consider an arbitrary point P in the magnetic field. This is R prime and R. These are position vectors. R prime, R are position vectors, whereas capital R is the vector joining source point with field point. With this setup, now A can be defined. A is defined as potential A at field point due to line current source is defined as mu by 4 pi I R prime by R dl prime. R prime are field vector, position vectors. This is the way it is defined. Compare this definition with potential. B is 1 by 4 pi epsilon scalar potential integral lambda dl by R. Notice the similarity between these two. Notice also the dissimilarity between the two. They are very much similar. IDL place is taken over by lambda dl, or lambda dl place is taken over by IDL, right? Similarly, one can define potential for surface current also, for volume currents also. This is for line current. If you replace IDL by KDA, IDL is KDA is J d tau. There is one equivalence among current elements. Using that equivalence, IDL is equal to KDA is equal to J d tau. One can define A for surface currents, A for volume currents too. Now we have AR is mu by 4 pi. IDL place is taken over by KDA prime. Here in the next expression, it is taken over by J d tau. J d tau. As already mentioned, tau prime means integration is being performed over the source point or around source point or over the source. Now A is a vector quantity. Its divergence can be computed. Its curl also computed. One can find its divergence 0. Curl equal to B. B is of course mu h. Mu h. Magnetic vector potential can be expressed in terms of field also. A is mu by 4 pi integral H cross R cap by R square d tau. This is similar to V in terms of E. V is E dot dl. E dot dl minus E dot dl expression is there. V is in terms of field. Similarly, A can be expressed in terms of field. Then it appears like this. HR cross R cap by R square d tau prime. In the slide, field intensity, vector potential. These are given for different current elements. For finite line current, infinite line current, sheet current, and solenoid. What is the field at an arbitrary field point? What is the potential for infinite line current? What is the field? What is the potential for sheet current? What is the field? Infinite sheet current. What is the potential for solenoid inside? What is the field? What is potential? Outside, what is field? What is potential? These are the expressions, and these are not at all difficult to derive. Now, expressions of magnetic vector potential, magnetic field intensity, and Lorentz magnetic force. These are given here. For line current, this is the expression that provides you H. 1 by 4 pi integral I cross R cap by R square dl. Left side you have expression, it provides you magnetic vector potential. Right side you have one expression, this provides you force. So this last one provides you force, next to last provides you field intensity. Before that, what you have is magnetic vector potential. First item is filamentary current, second one is surface current, third one is volume current. These are general expressions. Already seen divergence is 0, curl is B. We can also show that closed line integral A dot dl is equal to phi. See, closed line integral H dot dl is I enclosed. This law is known as Ampere's circular law. It can be shown easily. A dot dl replace H by A. A dot dl equal to phi. Phi is flux, magnetic flux. So current place is taken over by flux. H place is taken over by A. So this relation is also okay. A dot dl is phi. This is called Ampere's law. This is also called Ampere's law. Ampere's law for vector potential. Magnetic scalar potential. Now we move on to another potential. As already mentioned, with respect to magnetic fields or in steady magnetic fields, there are two potentials defined. One is vector potential, another is scalar potential. The definition of vector potential is already given. It is introduced. Good amount of discussion happened, in-depth discussion happened. Now we move on to the second potential, which is magnetic scalar potential. Magnetic scalar potential is also known as magnetomotive force, MMF, and is measured in ampere turns. So ampere turns. It is indicated by Vm. The V is used to indicate scalar potential, electric scalar potential. So to differentiate these two, Vm, M stands for magnetic, and its utility is similar to electric scalar potential. To find field when source current distribution is available, it is defined as H equal to minus grad Vm. This is the defining relation. H equal to minus grad Vm. Of course, this defining relation is in differential form. We can have the definition integral form also. So when we transform it into integral form, it appears like this. Closed line integral H dot dl is 0. Notice the similarity between magnetic case and electric case. In case of electric scalar potential, E is given by minus grad V. Here he is telling H equal to minus grad Vm. It implies closed line integral E dot dl equal to 0. Therefore, here also it must imply H dot dl is 0. So this is integral form of the definition. This is differential. He says it is valid only for current-free regions, only in regions with J equal to 0. One has to take this definition with a lot of caution. As curl of magnetic field is current density, it implies scalar potential is defined only for regions where del cross H equal to 0 or using curl of H dot dl is 0. A relative magnetic scalar potential can also be defined. We have absolute scalar potential, we have relative scalar potential in static electric fields. In the same way, here also we have absolute potential. This is absolute potential, this one. One can define relative potential also. Potential at B with respect to potential A can also be defined. This is a relative. So V magnetic potential, Vm, BA, potential at B with respect to A. It is VMB, absolute potential at B minus absolute potential at A. It is A to B minus A to B, H dot dl. This is almost running parallel to electric scalar potential. One or two important points regarding scalar potential. Magnetic scalar potential is defined exactly in a way same as electric scalar potential, except the fact that it is valid only for current-free regions. As a consequence, their properties are also similar. To find magnetic scalar potential in current-free regions, thus the expressions of electric scalar potential can be invoked for benefit, saving from laborious computations. There exist two fundamental differences between these two potentials despite their similarity. Electric scalar one is conservative in nature, whereas magnetic one is not conservative. Electric scalar is conservative, whereas magnetic one is not. The second difference is that electrostatic potential, once zero potential point is assigned, is a single valued function, whereas magnetic scalar potential is not a single value. It may cause some serious problems to you. So this is what I want to share with you regarding potential functions defined for steady magnetic fields.